We're finding more and more videos from Phil Robertson in the past, and he has said some pretty negative things about gay people. We all know about that. And A&E has decided to lift his suspension anyway, and I think that they probably made whatever decision they made, that's the right decision for them, and there's nothing wrong with that. At least that's my take on it. But there are other videos that we're now finding where he says some pretty ridiculous things when it comes to marriage specifically. So, he gives the advice to men during a sportsman's ministry talk. This is from 2009. And here's the advice he would give to young boys, pretty much.
Make sure that she can cook a meal. You need to eat some meals that she cooks. Check that out. Make sure she carries her Bible. That'll save you a lot of trouble down the road. And if she picks your ducks, now that's a woman. They got to where they're getting hard to find. Mainly because these boys are waiting till they get to be about 20 years old before they marry them. Look, you wait till they get to be 20 years old, the only picking that's going to take place is your pocket. You got to marry these girls when they're about 15 or 16, they'll pick your ducks. You need to check with mom and dad about that, of course.
Oh, of course. Well, is he not merciful? You should check with your mom and dad before you get married at the age of 15. And if you get to 20, well, obviously all you're going to do is rob the men because you're savvy about the world. Mm-hmm. See, they need to get you when you're 15, so one, it's statutory rape, and two, they can program you in the right way to be subservient to the man and pick his ducks the right way.
So his priorities include meals, okay? You gotta make sure she knows how to cook, because if she doesn't, she's good for nothing, okay? Bible, make sure she carries a Bible with her at all times, because that's a good woman right there. Doesn't matter, if she's smart, doesn't matter if she can actually contribute something to the relationship intellectually.
She can contribute somebody. If somebody's walking by, she can thump them with the Bible.
Well, we don't care about, intelligence. We just want a meal, and she needs to know how to pick her ducks. Okay. Anyway, all right. Look, let me give some actual commentary on this. His suggestions are obviously extremely dangerous, right? You mentioned statutory rape, and that's a huge problem. But also, when you look at the divorce rate in the country, of course it spiked at one point. But there was a recent TED Talk, great TED Talk, I highly recommend it, by Helen Fisher. And she was talking about how in recent years the divorce rate has slowly but steadily declined. And the reason for that is because people are getting married as they get older. You know why? Because people get to know who they are, and then they find people that are right for them. Okay, so, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to belittle people that have that accent, but he is so unbelievably ignorant and so dangerous with the suggestions that he's making in that video, and also incredibly sexist. Because again, all he points out is she's got to have meals, you got to taste her meals. If she doesn't know how to cook, she's worthless. Ducks, and make sure she's prepubescent, right? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, all those women over the age of 20, they're just worried about your money.
Yeah. So look, I love this conversation. I know some people are sick of the Duck Dynasty talk, and we are to some degree because there's been so much of it, right?
Yeah.
But look, and so we have a high bar whether we're going to do one of those stories, but this crosses that bar because it's not about Phil Robertson. Who gives a damn about this idiot, right? It's such a decent-sized percentage of the population are backing him so fervently, right? And understand this is an old mindset. I mean, it's not like he was in the majority. In the old days, he was in the majority. Like, so when a black guy, remember, this wasn't just about gays and women and stuff. He said during the Jim Crow days, black people were perfectly happy. They weren't singing the blues. Although that's literally not, they were literally singing the blues for that reason. But he said they never complained to him. Yeah, I know, because they were told to shut their mouth, and they never complained to white people.
The good old days.
The good old days, the good old days, right? See, that's why this conversation is so important, because it shines a mirror onto our country, right? Not the whole country, but a decent chunk of it, right? Yeah. So you shall know us by our acts, and when a third of the country fervently applauds Phil Robertson, you know that they'd like to go back to the old days when black people would just shut up about how we were kicking their ass and not giving them equality, how gay people were so sinful that they were going to murder you, etc. That's another video we found of him from 2009 when he was saying those outrageous things. And that women, oh, remember the good old days when all they did was pick your ducks and cook your meals, and they shut their traps, and you can get them young, and you could mold their minds into believing that the only thing they're supposed to do is serve you. Remember the good old days when we got women at 15.
Oh, God.
By the way,
disgusting.
he met his wife when he was 18 and she was 14. They waited until she was 16 before they got married. Right? So
16 is so unbelievably young. I know that people used to get married at that age, and I know that still till this day there are people that get married that young. But it's such a bad idea on so many different levels. So,
and that's borne out by the statistics, because we know that if you get married younger, you're more likely to get divorced. That's supposed to be, it's the opposite of what this idiot is saying. He thinks, oh, then that'll be a good marriage because they pick your ducks and they shut up. And no. Most of the time it doesn't work out that way. It works out the opposite. But he doesn't give a damn. Look, I understand it, and I understand that, look, when he's from an older generation in the South that just thought differently. So it's not about blaming him purely, okay? It's about finding out who we are. There's still a lot of folks who think like that, and they're wrong. And this conversation helps to shine a light on that too.